So hello everyone, welcome back to Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark. Can you believe it? 3 videos in 3 days. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, today is Tuesday, so it should be a tag, and it is a tag, although it isn't a tag I was tagged in. Instead, I decided to do a nice short tag that I saw on another Bibliophile Reads channel. It is the Quarter-Year Crisis book tag, and it was created by Roisin's Reading, so I hope I've said that right. Let's jump straight in there with the first question. How many books have you read so far? So that's so far this year. I've read 17 books. Probably not a huge amount for some of you, but for me, it's not too bad. I'm quite a slow reader. I tend to really read every word, so that slows me down. Yeah, next one. Have you already found a book you think might be a 2022 favorite? Yes, I have, although I would say I found 3 of them. One is Beau Geste by P.C. Wren. The other is The Swerve by Stephen Greenblatt. And the other one, the final one, the third one, is The Hunters by James Salter. All 3 books were excellent, thoroughly enjoyable, and currently hold top ranking for my 2022 books this year. Any 1-star books or least favorite book of the year? Well, yes, but not 1-star. I haven't awarded any 1-stars. Do you award a 1-star? I suppose you do, although it's not much of one, is it? But I haven't given out any 1-star reviews, or ratings rather, so far this year. I have given a couple of 3 stars, and one I gave yesterday, although the reason is a little bit complicated. I finished yesterday a book I mentioned in a previous video called The North Water by Ian McGuire, and it was an excellent book. Although I should say it was an excellent story, or the crux of the story was excellent. But I just had a problem with it, and I don't want to come across and sound prudish, because I really am not. Although I found the language in the book and the gratuitous violence a bit much, and I didn't think it was needed. I thought the story was strong enough to stand on its own without going over the top in terms of animal cruelty, sexual violence, and this kind of thing, which the book really did do in big amounts, actually. I expected it to be a bit grim, because one of my colleagues at work warned me after watching the TV series. It's part of the reason I didn't watch the TV series, because I look at myself as a big animal lover, although I do confess I still eat meat. But I certainly don't like to see any kind of cruelty or animal suffering, or any kind of mistreatment of animals. And I expected it, because I know the book is about a whaling ship, but it was just too much, really. Even after discussing it with my friend at work this morning, the book's even worse by all accounts. So there was a lot more graphic violence and cruelty within the book than there is actually in the TV series. So it was tough, because I didn't hate the book. I just hated the, I think, unnecessary violence and descriptions of violence, and yeah. So that's why I awarded it a lower star rating than I would have normally perhaps given the book, because, as I say, the story is very good and the book is worth reading. I just don't want to recommend it too strongly to people, because they might be upset by some of the content in the book. But if you can see past that and want a really good story, then I recommend it. One of the big criticisms on Goodreads regarding the book is it's very masculine, testosterone-fueled book, but I'm not sure that's, really warranted criticism, given that the whole story takes place pretty much on a whaling ship in the Arctic Ocean. And you know, in the mid 19th century, to my mind, to my knowledge, there were not, of course, many female crew members or participants in the whaling industry. I might be wrong. If I am, please correct me in the comments below. But yeah, that's the lowest rated book I've got for you so far this year. However, it isn't fully deserved because, as I say, the story itself is excellent. It's just the way it's executed, perhaps. Next. The most read genre so far. Well, the most read genre for me, it's almost a tie, actually. Just edging it would be Victorian, or late Victorian adventure books along the lines of Henry Rider Haggard, P.C. Wren, who I mentioned. Well, I suppose he's early 20th century, who wrote Beau Geste. But this kind of adventure series is probably the genre that I've read most so far this year. And then general nonfiction comes behind, especially books to do with Africa, owing to the African Cup of Nations read-along that we did, as well as books relating and pertaining to Russia, brought about through my mood reading, really, given the current situation in Ukraine. Next, a book that surprised you. Well, one book that surprised me this year would be The Hunters by James Salter. It was something that I wouldn't normally consider my cup of tea. I'm not very big into aerial warfare or aviation or anything like that. However, the book surprised me with how well it's written, how the author was able to interest me in the subject a bit more. But, you know, the book is primarily about the psychological effects, I suppose, of a fighter pilot fighting in the Korean War, as well as, of course, watching his gradual self-destruction. So there's definitely a psychological element to the book, and maybe that's why I really enjoyed it. But it wasn't how I imagined it would be, and it was much better than I thought it would be. So yeah, I would recommend that to people, actually. The Hunters by James Salter. Next, a book that came out in 2022 already that you want to read but haven't yet. Well, this one's a bit difficult for me because I have actually started the book yet, but I haven't finished it. So I haven't read it yet, but I have started it. And that's the book Wedding Station by David Downing. I mentioned it actually in a previous video as well. It's the continuation of his excellent Station series featuring the main character, John Russell, who is a reporter. He's an Anglo-American reporter, and most of the action throughout the series takes place just prior to the Second World War, during the Second World War, and just in the immediate post-war aftermath. This book is a prequel, so whereas I believe the first book in the normal series starts 1938/39, this book takes place in 1933. It starts off with the Reichstag fire and Hitler's rise to power, or his obtaining power, I should say. The main character, Russell, has replaced a Jewish reporter on the newspaper as a crime reporter. So whilst all this, of course, is going on, the politics and things in the background, Russell is kind of running through Berlin, looking into various crimes, which are in themselves very interesting as well. And it's a fantastic series, and so far this hasn't disappointed. Really, really, really love that series. Next, books that one goal you've made that you're succeeding at. Well, I suppose I am on track for my reading challenge so far this year. I'm 3 books ahead according to Goodreads, so that's definitely a plus, and that's definitely something I'd like to succeed with. Next, one goal you made that you need to focus on. Well, I did say I'd make more videos this year, being the second year of my booktubing adventure. However, I've failed miserably so far at that, so make more videos rather would be a goal that I should focus on. I'd quite like to also cross the 500 subscribers mark at some point this year. I feel I've been sitting pretty much around the current number I've got since Christmas. But then I suppose if I'm not making a lot of videos, I can't really complain that I haven't really increased my subscribers. So, it's not hugely important to me. It just seems that 500 is a nice round number, And then, of course, after that, it'd be like 1,000, and then, nice round numbers as well. But no, seriously, 500 would be really nice. And I think you can make posts and things like that, which would be cool. I'd like to be able to do that on YouTube with 500 subscribers. So that would be great. But I won't hold my breath just in case. Next, new to you booktubers, bookstagrammers, booktokers for 2022 that you would recommend to others. Well, this is another thing I really should focus on this year, is watching more content, watching more booktube, more bookstagram, and booktalk. I guess that's from TikTok. I don't really know. Booktokers, or at least start watching some booktokers perhaps, because I can't really recommend any new ones to me this year because I haven't really discovered any new channels because I haven't watched that much, and it's another reason I suppose why I'm sitting around this subscriber mark as well. Not to harp on about it, but I haven't really commented very much recently. I haven't been able to watch a lot of content, so when you put all that together, it's probably not surprising. But I really do need to watch some more booktube, especially, and get to know some new booktubers. That would be fantastic. And then, of course, if we have a half-year crisis or a three-quarter-year crisis, I shall then be able to recommend some cool new channels to you, or at least channels that were new to me I can recommend to you as well. So that's it. It wasn't too long, was it? And hopefully not too rambling. But thank you very much for your patience up to now. And I look forward very much to seeing you all again next time. Do have a good day, everybody. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye. Bye.